That's how we're going today. Let's go.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes they're just like, I like pods that like they're just already talking about something. You know what I mean? And it's
exactly
not
like
just
this one started, right?
Yeah. So
Like a couple seconds ago.
I was, watching. So I was watching that girl, and I forgot her first name, but it was like Gold is her last name. She has that YouTube channel. She was reviewing Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Gotcha.
James Cameron, and that's a perfect movie, man.
Perfect.
There's
all the buckets
of popcorn, man. And like the big twist, and like I've seen that movie like a million times, right?
Yeah.
We had it on VHS, one of the only movies we had on VHS, so I watched it a million times. And I'm a child watching this movie in the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
And so she's watching it for the first time, and the scene when the Terminator and the T-800 and the T-1000 like meet up in the hall with John Connor in the middle.
Right.
She's like, who's going to save him? Who's going to try to kill him, right?
Yeah.
And she thinks the cop, the T-1000, is the one who's trying to like save him, like it was in the original movie.
Right.
And she's like, what the beep, right? Like this is like one of the biggest twists in movie history of all time.
So she watches them for the first time?
For the first time.
Interesting.
Dude, great.
That's such a good aspect though for those movies around that time, because there were some good ones that came out that were
so good, man.
That were mixing a bunch of genres at that point, right?
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Natalie Gold. If you have not checked out her YouTube channel, I highly recommend. She watches movies first time, and yeah, her most recent movie is the first Avatar movie. She has never seen it before. She just watched it. So
interesting.
Highly recommend, man. All right, brother. What you saw a movie yesterday?
I did. I went.
Why did you do this?
Oh, well,
was this your idea?
Actually, my wife just was like, "Hey, let's go see Megan next weekend," or whenever it was at the beginning of the week, and I was like, "Okay." She's like, "We're going Saturday." I was like, "Let's go." That's fine.
Wow.
So I went and saw Megan, and it was kind of I don't want to say, I guess I'll say kind of corny, but in a humorous way. It was like a funny, creepy movie. Like a mix of Terminator and Chucky.
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
That's definitely the vibe.
But I tell you, there were more people like laughing in the theater than there were like anybody like scared at any point in the movie.
Okay, well that's good.
It's super creepy. We'll throw that out there, but it'd probably get like 2 buckets of popcorn at the end of the day. I could have not ever watched this movie and been perfectly fine, but I watched it and it's whatever.
So I'm on the Wikipedia page. It says the film received large. I'm not gonna go see this movie. I probably like catch it.
Yeah, when it's around, I got you.
The film receives large positive reviews from critics who praise it at its campy blend of horror and humor, as well as all the satirical elements and cast performances. So
I guess campy would have been the more better word than corny.
It's already made its budget back.
Yeah,
plus $3.5 million more.
Well, it's because you want to see. Most people just want to see it to be like,
yeah, it's
what
one
is
of
this
those
creepy
shock value, right? Like
that's one of the reasons we went. And when we left, it was just, it was like, all right, we saw the movie, it was all right. I can come back for a second time. But
Fast and the Furious 7 director / Aquaman director James Wan wrote the story, so he's definitely a good writer. All right, well, and how was Allison Williams in it? The Gemma.
Everybody held their own in the movie.
Okay.
There was never really any downsides to the actors themselves. The characters may have got a little weird towards the end of the movie, but that seems to be the turn most of the time, right? Like it's the story carries out, and then all of a sudden there's just a moment where you really move away from the reality quotation marks
of
the movie. That's kind of what happened at the end. But it was definitely Terminator, Chucky doll combined situation.
Like the first Terminator.
Yeah.
And the first Chucky. Okay.
Yeah.
I will let this one sit on the shelf.
Yeah, check it out when it comes around, but don't hurt yourself over it.
Good deal, man. This is why I don't play with dolls.
Yeah.
For this exact reason.
Super creepy dolls. Also, The Walking Dead season 11 hit Netflix.
Oh.
If you're all caught up.
Yeah, I'm definitely all caught up on that at all.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Seen every episode.
So that's the final season of The Walking Dead, but we get a couple spinoffs off of it. Of Daryl and Carol and Maggie and Negan.
I liked how Negan in season 7 fired off that nuke.
Yeah.
And, killed half the population of Pittsburgh. So, yeah, I'm all caught up. Dude.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a perfect review of that.
Exactly what's going on. No, that's like I said before. That's one of those I have to watch. But here's the thing, man. I'm not like we discussed it before. Like I'm not interested in people to people drama week after week, and then just like, oh, you know what? You slept with my mom, and then they shoot a zombie like on the left or whatever. That's actually my stage right, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in like how they're going to legit survive. Clearly, it's very popular. I just missed the bandwagon. I missed the train, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can jump back on, man.
Yeah, we probably jumped on season 2. I think it's when we jumped on, and I honestly don't remember where we started watching it at. I assume it was like Sunday nights is when we started watching.
That's the Walking Dead night, man.
Yeah.
You wake up, you go to church, come home, watch football that night.
Well, I got about halfway through season 11. I got to finish the rest up.
All right.
This week sometime. You watch anything good this weekend?
Our movie of the week?
Same.
I was going to watch Smile, but I've been hesitant.
Okay.
Because I don't hear good things, but I need to watch it anyway.
Right.
So I might get it done at some point in time this upcoming week and let you know. I'll report back. If it happens, man. But no.
Is that on Amazon right now? Is that where that one was at?
Paramount, Showtime. I have every streaming thing on the planet, so just pick one. It's probably there. Yeah, that's the thing with the YouTube. I just kind of. Not the YouTube, the Apple TV, right? I just gotta go do, and it pulls up, and it just tells me where
to go,
where I have it for free at before I have to pay for it there.
Right.
So yeah. No, I didn't watch anything good, man. Just
have that
relaxed.
Yeah.
I did start the first Avatar.
Nice.
Started that, did not finish it. Got about, you know what? I like it when it's like his intro and when he becomes like he gets into the Avatar, then it starts kind of getting weird in that middle there. It's still a perfect, beautiful movie, but for me it kind of drags, so I kind of like turned it off, and I was putting up the Christmas tree when I was doing it.
Feels almost like at some point kind of a political statement.
Oh, it is.
And that, I mean, you can watch a movie and that be part of the movie, but that's one where it's like,
oh,
we get it.
James Cameron put out a flag and said, this is a political stance on the environment and the military and humans being assholes. Like, he legit did that.
Yeah, that's very, very right there in front.
Which he did less in the second one.
Yeah.
That first one, that was the political statement stamp of approval right there. Obama was like,
let's go.
Welcome to this week's episode of Movie in a Pod. I'm Clyde Smith.
And I am Javier Villalobos.
On this week's episode, we are discussing the trailers for 80 for Brady, Greenfield, and our Movie of the Week, Prisoners. Hey, team. YouTube. We tell you about it every week.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Live reactions.
Let's go.
Now it's time for the 80 for Brady starting lineup.
Yeah.
Lily Tomlin, Wayne State University.
Rita Moreno, PS 132.
Sally Field, Birmingham High School.
Jane Fonda, college dropout.
The 80 for Brady trailer starts in 3, 2,
Game's about to start.
Football.
There's Tom.
Oh, what a beautiful man.
I like Gronkowski. We know, Chris. We've all read your Gronk erotica.
It's not erotica, it's fan fiction. Very sexy fan fiction.
Aren't you tired of the same old boring lives? Let's
He does
go
be
to the
popping up in
Super
some movies every
Bowl.
once in a
The
while.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl is no
really.
place for old women. This could be Tom's last one. He's almost 40. That's
Tom.
like 80 in people years. Yeah, we're 80 in people years.
I just really need this trip.
I can't believe we're actually here.
Taking this one. He's cute.
So you don't have any tickets?
How much for 4?
10,000.
10,000?
Well, I have a 20 in my strap-on.
That's a fanny pack.
If you wear it like this, it's a strap-on.
Wow.
It is so great to meet you. Beauty has no expiration date.
Krish, I didn't flirt. He did.
There's so much here to do. We could even win these tickets.
This is a spicy wings contest.
I could use a little spice.
I know her!
If you black out, who you want me to call?
An ambulance?
Good answer.
You did this to give us something to remember. Why? Honey, it worked.
Do you think you could get us in?
Follow me. These are my dancers.
Prove it.
What dance moves you ladies know?
A twist. A jerk?
Let's do it.
Get it.
Yeah. There you go.
Hi.
So big.
Oh, man.
Isn't that what
Gronk.
friendship is? That we face the unknown together?
Let's go, Golden Girls. Come with me.
There it is.
Come on now.
Made a run for it.
Let's go.
Brady. The GOAT.
These are good.
Very good.
Oh, careful, they're high dosage.
High dosage?
Oh, no.
Excuse me, I'm looking for someone.
Are you okay?
Guy Fieri.
All right, team. We have 80 for Brady. A group of friends made it their lifelong mission to go to the Super Bowl and meet NFL superstar Tom Brady.
Yeah.
This is directed by Kyle Marvin, written by Emily Halpern and Sarah Haskins. Starring the great cast, actually. We have Sally Field, Rita Moreno, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and a lot of other great supporting cast, including himself,
A bunch. Yep.
Tom Brady. What are your thoughts about this trailer, brother?
Obviously, this is going to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
You got a great cast in these ladies who have been in and out of everything
Yeah.
for a while.
So many different genres,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and they all can definitely handle. I mean, you see Sally Field and Jane Fonda. They've all done so many different things. There's no way they can't come together and make something great. And we get to see Tom Brady throw some footballs on the big screen. And Gronk with his fan, what did you say, fan fiction?
Erotica.
Yeah. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a lot of slapstick stuff with these ladies and interacting with these personnel at the football, at the Super Bowl, and fans tailgating. I mean, it can only be funny. I don't see any other way about it.
Yeah, man, this is going to be good. One, we have a story about 4 friends, which, being a big Entourage fan that I am, I'm always a sucker for that.
Yeah.
But even more, right, you complete that with a once-in-a-lifetime trip to the Super Bowl, right? Not all of us are millionaires and have the ability to just, be like Jay-Z and be at the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, yeah.
each and every year, no matter where it is. So the fact that they are able to do this is a huge deal, and just the wild trip in time that they take the journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they go with no tickets.
They go with no tickets.
No tickets. So they haven't bought tickets. They're just going on hopes and dreams that they'll figure it out. And I think that's where
kind of how I've been living my life for 35 years now, so almost 36.
And that's where the story is going to pick up the funny is like those antics to figure out how they're going to get into there. Yeah, I'll check this one out. I don't know if I'll go sit in a movie theater for it, but I'll definitely check it whenever it hits the streaming service somewhere.
Awesome. We got 80 for Brady, guys. We're going to throw this on our socials. Let us know your thoughts. Are you a Tom Brady fan? The best thing about this was against the Atlanta Falcons, where Tom Brady was actually down at the half by a lot and came back and won big. So, inspired by true stories here. So, let us know your thoughts, team.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you okay? I need to get out of a toxic
Nicholas Holt.
Why don't you start by telling us what brought you here?
My boss, he's different.
You can't get him out of your head.
No.
I need your assistance.
I'm coming, Master! Oh, you feel like he could destroy you with the snap of his fingers.
Wouldn't even need to snap. Okay.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, what?
He's in the worst toxic relationship.
Yes.
Blaming innocent victims. I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
And I just want a normal life again.
This whole is so good, man.
But this modern world is a dangerous place.
Oh, super spider. Radioactive spider.
Oh, gosh. Oh, wow.
Thank you. You saved my life.
It's like John Wick.
You cut a guy with a decorative serving platter?
It's in the wrist. Let me explain. My boss gave me this power. In return, I tend to his needs, including care, feeding.
You bring him people to eat?
That was Renfield or Beast. He's Beast.
Oh, you're like the guy that gets the
His training from X-Men.
But if you were to stop focusing on his needs, what would happen?
He won't grow to full power.
Exactly. He won't grow to full power. What? That's so weird. Why would you phrase it like that? Hi. Are you here for the meeting? Well, come on. No!
Oh, no.
Some call me the Dark One. Others, the Lord of Death. To most, I am Black.
Okay, obviously we're dealing with a little bit more than just narcissism here.
Now, let's eat.
All right, team. We have Renfield, Dracula's henchman, an inmate at the lunatic asylum. That's literally what it says here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is coming from Chris McKay, who gave us the Lego movie.
Nice.
Starring Nicolas Cage as Dracula, Nicholas Hoult as Renfield, Awkwafina in there as well. That was pretty dope. We got Ben Schwartz in here, so a nice little group of people in this movie, man.
Yeah.
This is a type movie, man, where you want to have a good time and you're gonna have a good time.
Right. Yeah.
One, I think like the writers and director was like, "Hey, Nick Cage, we're not even gonna give you a script. Just put this on. You're Dracula, okay?" And he's gonna deliver.
I mean, I guess at that point it's supposed to be more of a Nicholas Hoult movie, than it is a Nick Cage movie,
right?
So maybe he won't have as much screen time, so he'll be able to do whatever he wants to. So looking forward to that. Good Nick Cage movie is like one where you just have to accept it's Nick Cage.
Yes.
And just accept him as he is.
He might have a different name in the movie.
Yeah.
But he's Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Playing Nick Cage. Being Nick Cage. Yeah. Okay. Written, starring, directed, produced, edited. Nick Cage.
Yes.
Everything. So
yep.
I like this type of flick, man. This is a trailer that brings me in and is like, yo, I have to see this toxic relationship, man.
Yeah.
I have to see how the many ways how Renfield tries to get out of this crazy relationship, and the perils that he goes through each and every time, right?
Yeah.
It's like because you can tell that he hates what he's doing,
right?
But continues to do it, and doesn't know why.
And we get another iteration of Dracula.
Yeah,
we see so many Draculas all the time.
Yeah, we saw the sexy one in the invitation.
Yeah, yeah. But we get to see
that was really sexy, man.
We get to see funny and one of the creepier looking Draculas.
Yeah,
like he's not human at all, from what I saw in the trailer.
Yeah, he's
does he have a human form, or is he always creepy? That's a curious question for me.
Well, we'd have to be in the theater to see this, man.
We will be in the theater
when this drops April 14th, 2023, guys. So,
and Ben Schwartz in there somewhere, so that's gonna be good.
Teddy Lobo, all right. Guys, we're going to throw Renfield on our socials. This is a movie that, are you excited about? Are you not? Do you enjoy Nick Cage movies like the rest of us? It's kind of turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult, man, he's still doing his thing. I love this kid, man. Fantastic.
Yep.
All right, brother, you ready to jump into this week's movie?
Oh, yeah.
All right, team. We have Prisoners. Prisoners dropped in the good year of 2013. A few other flicks that dropped that year was Side Effects, American Hustle, Oblivion, Bad Words. Give it up for Jason Bateman. Written and directed. I think just directed, actually. Excuse me. Out of the Furnace, Runner, little Justin Timberlake action.
Nice.
Dallas Buyers Club. All right. Little Matthew McConaughey. And the movie where Joaquin Phoenix had sex with an artificial intelligence system, a.k.a. Akin Nasiri, Her.
All right.
You ever seen that?
Don't think so.
Dude, that was a wild movie.
That's, sounds intense.
Yeah. And it was, the Siri voice was Black Widow. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, back to Prisoners, guys. Prisoners is directed by the great Denis Villeneuve. Always butcher your name, brother, and I'm sorry. And is written by Aaron Guskowski.
We had a $46 million budget. Box office brought in $122 million. Excuse me, $122.1 million. Starting this movie, we have Hugh Jackman as Keller Dover, Jake Gyllenhaal as Detective Loki, Viola Davis as Nancy Birch, Mario Bello as Grace Dover, Terrence Howard as Franklin Birch, Melissa Leo as Holly Jones, and Paul Dano as Alex Jones. We have the rest of the cast here. I'll run through them real quick. Dennis Christopher, Dylan Minnette, Brad James, Zoe Soul, Aaron Gerasimovic, Kyla Drew Simmons, Wayne Duvall, Lynn Carriot, David Desmalchian, and Jeff Pope.
All right. Really good cast here.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and give us that quick synopsis, player.
So two families in a neighboring community have their youngest daughters abducted at the same time. Keller Dover does whatever he needs to find them. He kidnaps and tortures Alex Jones in order to get the location and some kind of clues to find his daughters.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and hop in here. Let's start off the top, man. Wolverine himself.
Yes, sir.
Hugh Jackman, Keller Dover. This guy is family man.
Yes.
We meet him. He's a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also he's a carpenter and a religious man as well.
Yep.
and we meet him, I'm guessing the morning of Thanksgiving, where he's hunting with his kid.
Yeah.
His boy, and they kill a deer, pray over it, whatever, and then they take it back to eat it for Thanksgiving meal or whatever. I don't know about you, man, but I like the Wolverine movies. This is like before Logan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is even before the Wolverine. I don't know what year that came out.
His solo movies. Before his solo movies is what you're saying?
I'm just those two in particular.
Right.
Right. The intenseness of him in this movie.
The Wolverine was 2013.
Oh, also 2013.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the intenseness of Hugh Jackman in this is what you wanted to see from Wolverine.
Yeah.
As like, this man was intense.
Yeah. I mean, he did the whole thing he does where it's like neck veins and huge shoulders and biceps. All the stuff was out.
Threatening this kid, beating him, no remorse, man.
Right.
Without remorse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a father who wants his daughter back, wants his friend's daughter back.
Yeah.
And will do anything in his power to get the job done. And I just love him in this role, man. It's one of my favorite roles of his, man.
Yeah, he does a lot of different emotional roller coaster for him.
Yeah.
As a character and then as an actor as well. Going from the morning of having a good time with his family to basically torturing a dude.
Yeah.
You know,
becoming an alcoholic again, right?
Yeah.
Like, and seeing how his wife is basically becoming an emotional vegetable in the house, to him having to be like, okay, I have to do something about this, man.
Yeah.
Clearly the police suck.
Yeah.
The kid who supposedly took them is not giving any answers.
Mm-hmm.
I need to put this into my own hands. And that's where his motive is, and that's where the intensity lies. And it's just a creepy, dark turn for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But, like, you can see exactly what led him there.
Yeah.
He had to, right?
Yeah.
His son doesn't believe him anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah,
so all this coupled, man, he just says, I'm going to go ahead and do what I have to do to get my daughter back.
Oh, yeah.
He beats the wheels off this kid, man. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and this whole thing is crazy turn after turn. With clues leading one way, clues leading the other way. So the only thing he has to hold on to is this one name, this one guy.
Yeah.
Alex Jones. That's all he has.
That's it.
He has no other directions. That's the only direction he sees, and that's the one he's going after to find his kids.
Definitely. And then we have, moving forward, Jake Gyllenhaal plays Detective Loki. And, you know, man, before this movie, I was not the biggest Jake Gyllenhaal fan. He just didn't really do it for me.
Right.
But then I watched him in this, and I was like, "Oh wow, this guy,
He's got something going on now, huh?
This kid can." You know, I watched End of Watch, Source Code, Love and Others. Like, I watched his movies, but I was like, the movie's good. He's okay in them, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw him in Prisoners and was like, oh,
yeah,
this kid's got something. This guy is a really good actor, man. And it's because he's relentless in this movie as a detective, where he wants to play by the book, but knows that you have to bend the rules a little bit.
Right,
to get, especially with who you're dealing with, right?
Yeah,
The Alex Jones, the main perp is mentally disabled, so you have to bend the rules, man. You have to go above and beyond the Call of Duty to find answers and get answers and everything. And that's what he does, man. You see the intenseness like in his eyes, in his when he's like in those quiet moments as well.
Yeah.
right? Where you even see like when we first meet him at that diner, he's eating at the Chinese. I think he's at a Chinese restaurant or whatever on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Like he's just eating by himself.
Yeah.
Right. So that tells the type of detective, type of cop that he is.
Yeah.
We don't get much into his all we get is Detective Loki. We don't get his first name. We don't get anything.
Right.
We just know that he is a detective, and his singular focus is this case.
Yeah.
And I scene stealing, man. Favorite character was Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie, man. He was just really interesting, and you couldn't turn away because as he was unraveling the case, and it was weird because if you notice, it was a case on top of another case.
Yeah,
right?
it was a string of shit going on.
Right?
Yeah.
And like how they're kind of interconnected.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, and they stayed disconnected a good portion of the movie.
Yes.
It takes a long time for him to put those things together. That's why he keeps telling Kelly, hey, let me do my job. This kid is not the kid.
Yeah.
He's not the one we're looking for. But Keller didn't believe that because he had his eyes set on one thing. Yeah.
Moving forward here, we got, in a small role here, but still very important, we have Viola Davis as Nancy Burge. And I just love everything Viola Davis is in. And she plays the mother of the other young girl who was abducted and of Joy. And she, is just really worried about her husband always sneaking out with Keller.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out, like, why. Okay, we're going through this situation. I need your comfort. I need you to be available for when, the cops have a lead and you're gone for hours on end.
Yeah.
And Terrence Howard's character, Franklin, clearly tells his wife, and then she goes to he takes her to the place where Keller was beating on him, and she's like, let it ride.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, we're not going to do nothing. It's out of our hands. We know nothing. But let him handle that business.
Yeah, like she tried to do like the motherly woman thing and like help him out a little bit, and then he tries to like get away.
Yeah,
which is totally understandable.
100%.
But after that, she's like, "Do what you have to do to get our daughters back."
Yeah. I thought she was gonna be more of more hands on. I thought she was gonna like lose it.
Yeah,
but she didn't, and it may have been because she didn't have enough time to, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could tell she's just like, I want this to happen because I need my daughter back. But at the same time, I know we shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
But turn a blind eye. Let's just look over here and walk down the hallway and just pretend we never saw this happen.
And I love it too. So we're like a few days after Thanksgiving, maybe like even a week. And then when you see like shots of the Birch house, like Thanksgiving dinner was never put up. Nothing. Yeah. All the stuff is just still out. The house probably reeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how much like pain and turmoil this family is going through, and the other family as well. That's the little things about this movie that shows that like Viola Davis is going, Nancy Birch is going through some shit.
Yeah.
If she's not even cleaning her house, you know what I mean? And I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not a father, but like if you lose a child, your child gets abducted. Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah, it's not really a priority at that time. It's
not at all.
Not worried about all that.
All right, we have Grace Dover, Maria Bellows' character. She's the mother of Anna Dover, who also got abducted, and she just loses her shit, man.
Yeah, she reacts kind of the opposite way.
Yeah,
like Grace, or excuse me, Nancy is involved still with things going on, and doesn't have a problem stepping in and kind of trying to make sense of what's going on. With Grace, she just goes in her hole. She goes into her pills. She goes into all her stuff, and just like doesn't want to think about any of it.
She's an emotional wreck, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's literally, every time like Keller walked into the bedroom, she was passed out from the pills, man. That was her life during this entire time.
Oh, yeah. Well, she starts blaming him, too, for everything going on.
Exactly. You were supposed to protect us. Your job is to protect. You told me you were protecting me and our family.
Yep.
And understandable. You know what I mean? Very understandable. But, like, you have to have that contrast between the wives. And I'm glad that they both weren't, like, emotional wrecks, right? You have this strong actress in Viola Davis who she can do that and play that part, and she did that very, very well.
Right.
And then Maria Bello, you saw that she was just the wreck, man. So I love to see that contrast in there.
Yep.
We also have Franklin Birch, Terrence Howard. This is Nancy's husband, and Terrence Howard. He was the kind of the number 2 to Keller and going through this and trying to get answers out of this kid, but you can tell he felt like shit the entire time, man.
Yeah.
This is not the way to do it. I don't really.
This is not okay.
Right. And then, but like, and I wish we knew those conversations that happened in the truck on the way to the place where they were holding Alex, but that almost makes it better because it's like, the conversation would clearly be like, if that was me and you, it'd be like, yo, Javi, I understand. Like, we have to do this, right? We got to get our girls back. The cops are not helping. Like, so he's like spinning all this.
And they do that a lot in this movie, though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cut. Like, we get to a point and it's cut.
Yeah.
Then we move on to the next thing. It's like they let you, you know what's happening, but they don't need to tell you that.
Exactly.
So they fit a lot into this movie for it being like 2.5 hours long as well. But yeah, conversations like that, just, we see a very small amount of what goes on in that building.
The quiet and the letting us as the audience kind of figure out their emotions and what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. It speaks volumes, right? Yeah. It speaks because I'm in my head thinking, if I was in one of these men's shoes, how would I react? Right?
Yeah.
What would I say? What would I do, right?
And I'm wondering, too, aside from the movie magic, probably a lot of that was also, we got pretty high valued actors in here.
Yeah.
We need to plan this out so we don't have all of them in the same room at the same time.
Yeah, I don't need 12 men talking at one time. You know
but it was done good. Like the one that sticks out in my head a lot is when Jake Gyllenhaal gets into the building and discovers the little cell that they made for Paul Dano's character. Yeah. But you never see him.
Yep.
You see Jake. That's all you see, and it cuts. So it's good the way they did it, but I'm sure that was a big part of that.
Intentional, man.
Yeah,
definitely intentional there. It was only a $46 million movie, so definitely had great detective and directing and editing skills attached to this movie here. So we have Melissa Leo, Holly Jones. Now she is the grandmother of Alex Jones there, and that's who his legal guardian currently is. Remember, Alex is mentally disabled, so she takes care of him. She is a widow. Or her husband stepped out. At this point, we do not know.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, and she's a very interesting character, right? She loves her grandson and doesn't really believe anything.
Yeah.
Right? That he has done anything wrong and that he's just mentally disabled and can't do anything.
Yeah.
She kind of just keeps that's kind of her, right? And it's weird. Like, she plays this grandmother character, and I don't even, and she's such a big role as the legal guardian, but you don't suspect anything.
Nothing.
That was the wild, weird turn. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but she's a bigger character than are led to believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's all I'm gonna say about Melissa Leo's character, man.
That is fine.
And she loves her dog too.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we got Paul Dano as Alex Jones, and for me, man, I think this was like, you know, he played the Riddler or whatever.
Yeah.
I think this was like his audition tape to play the Riddler, man. He was creepy.
Mm-hmm.
He was weird. He was not anybody I would ever want to hang out with. Not because he was mentally disabled, man. You know, we grew up and went to school with a lot of kids with mental illnesses and just wasn't all there. But like, he is intentionally lacking in so many departments, and you can see in his eyes that like there's some hatred, there's something evil there,
right?
And that's what Keller sees. We don't know what that evil is, if he's the one who abducted these girls and did anything or not, but like we see something.
I feel like that is what that would have been. Maybe is like the way he grew up,
of course,
you know, which we learn about at the end of the movie. Would play a part in that kind of not knowing that what was happening was not good. Maybe
the unknown in this movie is what makes this movie great.
Yeah,
right.
It makes us do what we're doing right now. Trying to give him a story instead of telling us one.
Yeah. Which I will say, and I'll jump, but like the rewatchability in this movie is very high because you catch things over and over again, man, that you didn't get before. But he's our Alex Jones is our main perk, man. He's the one who drives the van. Ralph Dover, who is their kid, their son, sees the girls playing on that when they're you know, walking them outside or whatever, and that's the perp. That's the one that everybody's trying to go after or whatever, and that's the one that Dover and Birch abduct and basically beat the wheels off of to try to get answers, and he gives them nothing. So, once again, creepy, weird.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Motives you don't know, unclear. The why is very important to me, right? Like when he drove away, when the cops were surrounding him, and he tried to drive it, like where are you going in that van, in that hum what is the hell RV or whatever? Like where the hell are you going, bro?
He was also drugged too, wasn't he? Trying to think if that was a part of it. He was drugged when he was in the RV. If I'm not mistaken.
I do not remember that. See, I gotta watch this movie again.
Yeah. I think he was whatever the stuff they
concoction.
Were doing. Yeah. I think that was part of his deal too. He was drugged as well.
Wow. All right.
Check that out. Go watch it right now.
Go watch it.
We'll come back. Yes. Let's go right we'll be back in 2.5 hours.
And then in a very small role here, we have Dylan Minette as Ralph Dover, the oldest kid of Keller. And, you know, we kind of get him in the beginning, and I thought he was going to have a bigger role in regards to everything. But it stayed small, but it was very pivotal because I think like his reaction to his dad not doing anything.
Yeah.
And kind of being like an asshole son for a second. Understandable. It's your kid sister. Your mom is not, you know, all there. You want to do something and you can't because you're just a kid.
Yeah.
So you want to look at your dad and be like, dude, do something.
Yeah.
That's kind of the you know, what broke the straw of the camel's back for Keller to do what he did.
Yeah, I mean, he was basically saying, you let my sister down. Now you're letting us all down.
Yes.
Basically is what he threw in his face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, man. Production of this movie, I love. Like, you know, we just did our Christmas series, right?
Yeah.
We did 2 movies that from Shane Black, which was like Christmas in LA, right?
Right.
and how it looked. This is Thanksgiving and a few days after Thanksgiving, right? That's an interesting time because those few days after it's Thanksgiving, a few days after Thanksgiving, like it's cold in PA.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything is basically nothing's up and running. Right. The town is shut down. Vacation time. Right. Everybody's off of work and everything. So it's a very interesting time. Nobody's really on the roads like that. They also don't they live in a big metropolitan city. And
you're over a weekend most of the time.
You're over
weekend.
Yeah, Thursday,
you're always over a weekend.
Thursday to Monday is that lull, right?
Yep.
And they make PA, man, look desolate, look scary, look like a place whatever town that they're in.
Yeah, we see rain, we see snow, a lot of weather changing going on there.
Yeah, man, and it's a lot of gray tones.
Yep.
In this movie, but that shows how sad everybody is in this, right? Even though you get a lot of color pop during the Thanksgiving, after that, every daytime scene after that was really stark gray tones, man. And that showed the emotion of how you're supposed to feel in the movie, and just this shit is somber, man. This is not gonna be. There's no good moments in this movie,
and it was just all natural, the weather, and it happened. It was the perfect time, or it was either the perfect time, or they just said we're going to work with what we got.
Yep.
Whichever way, it came out beautiful.
Yeah, and speaking of that, man, all that natural, that's because, the cinematographer was the great legendary Roger Deakins, and just does a fabulous job of making this movie look and feel really somber.
Yeah.
Right? The entire time. So the music, I'm telling you, man, this music puts you in a mood.
Right.
There was two moods that I was in, man. When you were dealing with Keller, right? Hugh Jackman's character, it's a mood of just straight somber sadness, right? Where it went really melancholy, where it went really, really well with the visuals, right? And then when you're with Loki, right, you're really inquisitive. You're really trying to figure it out, right? And that's how the music kind of moved.
Yeah, he's always thinking.
Always thinking. It was eerie. It was eerie throughout the entire movie. But those are the two moods that the music kind of brought you in, and that's the contrast between the two main characters there, man. I just love this movie, and how they kind of put it together production wise.
Oh yeah.
All right, brother. Let's talk about a theme real quick.
All right.
Not to spoil anything, but the theme of this, man, is, and I get that I don't try to make sets of different different movies and the types or whatever when we do these seasons, but a lot of the movies we did this year, right, is basically about how far would you go to, fix the issue or, cure the problem or get your daughter back, right? I also love the theme of who is the actual prisoner. Think about that for a second in this movie, right?
Right.
Miss Dover's a prisoner in her own bed.
Yep.
Keller is a prisoner to himself, where he's an alcoholic and can get back to that, right? The two girls that got abducted, prisoners, right?
Yeah.
Alex Jones, we come to find out,
physically a prisoner.
Right? Right.
Yeah.
Even what happens to Melissa Leo's husband, prisoner, right?
Yeah.
It's a very, we just think, from the top, we just think these two girls, that's what the prisoners means.
Yeah.
But it's a prisoner physically, a prisoner of your mind, so many different iterations of prisoner in this movie, man. And that's what this writer-director was conveying and did beautifully, man.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, team, so that's our conversation about 2013's Prisoners. JV.
Yes, sir.
Your thoughts and ratings on this, sir?
We'll start this one out with a 4 out of $5 popcorn.
All right. He was not in the movie, guys. I just love it.
Some things for me on this movie, with these characters and the way they push these scenes together, man, I really enjoyed it. Kept my attention.
You couldn't look away.
Yeah, it was such a mystery that even like going scene to scene, it was even if they closed one clue, they opened up two more.
Yeah.
And just kept moving on, and they held so much until the end of the movie, which is what you want, but a lot of times it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Like, you do all this random stuff, and in the movie you're like, well, why? Why all that? But this one works. I mean, it all pulls together at the end and kept me and my wife's attention for this whole movie. We sat there and watched the whole thing and really enjoyed it. And we're surprised by things. And even though you make it to the end of the movie, you were so held in the dark the whole time, you got to go back and watch it. Mm-hmm. And I love that. So 4 out of 5 for me, man. What about you?
We get all-star performances from this entire cast, man. Hugh Jackman brings an intensity that I've never seen before. Jake Gyllenhaal, I like Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a top 5, top 10 actor of mine right now.
There you go.
Viola Davis always brings the heat. Maria Bello held her own. Terrence Howard did his thing. Melissa Leo, just scary, creepy grandmother, man. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, but played a great grandmother.
Played a fantastic grandmother, right? And Paul Dano, right, who has always been a character actor before this, where he is kind of like, he's in the movie but never like a main.
Yeah.
He comes and brings the heat in this, man, which turns him into, from a character actor to like an actor who can be a leading man. Obviously, he was just in The Fabelmans as part of the ensemble cast, but as the patriarch of the family. So, just fantastic, brother. The movie was intense. It was somber. It kept you guessing at every moment. The cinematography was just the best. Denis Villeneuve, I'll pronounce your name correctly one of these days. This man doesn't miss. He does not miss in his movies, man. And this was the start of the movies that he has directed here in America. Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, Arrival. We did Arrival before. Blade Runner 2049, Dune, and he just finished up Dune Part 2. So the man does not miss.
Yeah.
This is a movie, man. This is 5 buckets of popcorn for me. This is one of my favorite mystery thriller movies of all time, right here. And now I got to go watch it again to see if Alex Jones was drugged in that scene. We'll see. All right, team. Thank you for subscribing to this week's episode, talking through 2013's Prisoners. Next week, we will have a very special season finale pod, talking through all of our top movies of 2022.
Just go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow us on social media to keep up with us for Season 5.
Like always, I am Clyde Smith. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as I am Clyde D. Smith.
I'm Javier Villalobos, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J8200.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.